What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical, average American here today to react and learn about some things that you should never say to a Brit. So today, I want to take a look at this Reddit discussion where somebody asked, what are some definite no-nos to say to a British person? So I thought this would be very interesting to learn about the things that me and my fellow Americans should not be saying to British people, and why exactly these specific things are so forbidden. So let's take a look here, starting with, let me warm up that tea for you in the microwave. Is this so forbidden? The microwave? Is it just the tea in particular? You know, I actually did a video a while ago learning about this specific topic. Apparently in the UK, you have this technology that we have yet to discover here in America. It's called the electric kettle. And it's a device that heats up water. I had to learn all about it because we do not have it here in the United States. We have to rely on the microwave. We heat up water in the microwave. I'm sorry. For one, is this just something? If an American is in Britain, maybe we have to just acclimate to the culture and never speak these words. Just let me warm that tea up for you in the microwave. Really? Are British people really against the microwave in general, or just the heating up of tea specifically? I mean, this isn't even necessarily the water, it's the tea. If you've already made a cup of tea and you want to heat it up, what other choice do you have than the microwave? If it's the water beforehand, that okay, I get that you don't want to blast it with microwave radiation to heat up your water like the barbarians that we are. That's a funny one. Let's keep going here. I'm Irish. No, you're not. You are American. F off. This is funny. It's fun. Maybe it's funny because this is so accurate. This is stuff that Americans do. Americans will be. We will do those ancestry DNA tests that you send your saliva off in the mail and you get some results about your ancestry. A lot of Americans will be like, oh my God, I'm 1% Irish. I have to go put on my green. I have to go back to the motherland. They'll make it part of their identity. And it's like, that's great and all that you're related to Ireland, and that's a very, 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 very small part of your heritage. That's a wonderful thing. But to be, to be like this, to be like, oh, me? Oh, I'm Irish. And it's like, no, no you're not. That's funny because I've heard this stuff specifically from. We get excited about this stuff. That's an interesting Irish accent you have there. Where's that from? I've used this on an American before. Like if an American is like, "Oh yes, I'm a bit Irish." It's like, "Oh really? What Irish accent is that?" Also, I'm Scottish, or my favorite, I'm Scots Irish. Oh my god. Yes, yes. Us Americans, we do get excited, especially when those Ancestry DNA kits came out. A lot of Americans are like, oh, yes, I'm 3% Polish. And it's like, okay, cool. But it doesn't have to be your whole identity. You'd be speaking German if it wasn't for us. Oh my god. Wow. Are there Americans who actually say this? This is like a World War thing? Like, If we had lost World War II, wouldn't we all be speaking German? I mean, is this why? That's also just a very rude thing to say because it sounds like it's implying, oh, if it wasn't for us, if it wasn't for America. I've literally seen several YouTube videos now about the huge role that the UK played in World War II and defeating Germany. And oh, that is, wow, I agree. That is a definite no no. That is just rude. Oh my gosh. I imagine I love asking these people what language they imagine they'd be speaking if it wasn't for us. Um, I think the only people who can say this are English teachers teaching English. Okay. Yeah, that's wow. That bugs me too. And I'm American. Would you like some gravy on your biscuits? is this is this really something you can't say to a Brit? I mean, several of these so far I understand. Um, can I microwave your tea? I'm Irish. I'm 2% English. Like I get where that can be a little annoying. If it wasn't for us, you'd be speaking German right now. Like, yes, that's all very annoying. You should not say those things. But this is the first one where I'm like, come on. Would you like some gravy on your biscuits? Here in America, this is more than okay. This is encouraged. And what we're talking about specifically is white gravy on our version of a biscuit. Our biscuit is like a British scone, I think you would call it. And it's delicious. And British people are like, I'm sorry, what? That's disgusting. No, no, no. You have to look it up. You gotta look it up. Trust me, it's not disgusting. Better than look it up, you gotta come here and try it. Biscuits and gravy. It is genuinely one of my most favorite things. Genuinely on this earth. So, but I guess I have to remember not something you should say to a British person because it just sounds disgusting, I guess. But it's not. I swear. What is this? All right, all right, governor. Would you like a cup of tea? F off. But yes, please, 2 sugars. Is this? Does this give you a British accent? And what British accent does this give you? Um, and I think this is just in general saying, uh, don't put on a bad, phony British accent to British people. Don't do it. A lot of Americans, our standard British accent impersonation, is the Mary Poppins, Dick Van Dyke thing. Still to this day, where it's like, hello, governor. Yeah, like this. All right, governor, would you like a cup of tea? And it's just, I don't know what I sound like to a British person, but I imagine it's not that pleasant. And or over the top. Or maybe there's some British people out there who sound like that. Maybe. Is there one? Is there at least one person that sounds like that? That makes it okay? In Scotland, are you Scottish or British? I love England so much. Why? Why would you say that? Why would you go anywhere to another country, so Scotland, and be like, oh, I love this other place? In Scotland, are you Scottish or British? I love England. Nothing against England. England's great, but it's like, if you're in Scotland, that's probably not a good idea. Most people are going to be Scottish. What? Why? Why? And if you're in Wales, are you Welsh or British? Oh my God! Oh my God! I just realized. I just realized I missed the point of this one. I'm glad I noticed finally. This is proof. That's literally proof that as an American, even myself, who's kind of aware of these things, this went right over my head at first. In Scotland, Are you Scottish or British? That's a stupid question. It's not just an embarrassing, rude thing to say. It's a stupid question because Scottish people are British. And then I love England so much. That is actually them saying they think Britain is just England. So, oh my god, for so many more reasons, this is rude. Oh my god, oh man, this must trigger Brits off the face of the earth. This would trigger me if I'm British, because you already don't know what Britain is, and I didn't even realize this at first. I'm guilty of this. Um, in Wales, are you Welsh or British? Wales is part of Britain. Rude again. In England, do you know the Queen? Oh my. Even when the Queen was still alive, what a what a weird silly question. Like, British people, you don't come to America and go up to random Americans and be like, "Do you know the president? Do you did you know Barack Obama? Did you like what do you know Donald Trump? Are you friends?" Like, what? Do you so go in English going up to like yeah, this one gets me like makes me irrationally annoyed actually. So I can only imagine how British people feel about all this. Oh my god. This was a good comment cuz this got me going and I'm not even British. Are you Scottish or British? Oh my god. That's so disrespectful to Scottish people and Welsh people. Well, it's true. A lot of Americans think Britain is the same as England. So, yeah, take that for what you will. Um, I remember being asked before by a waitress in America, where are you from? And this is how the conversation went. We're from Wales. Waitress, blank stare. The United Kingdom. Waitress, blank stare. Britain? Waitress, blank stare. England. Oh, England! Wow, that's amazing! England! I felt a little dirty after that. Yeah, I'm guilty of this as well as the American here, I'll admit it. For the longest time, I did not know where Wales was. I didn't know where Wales was. Deep into my adult life, I'll admit it. Didn't know it was part of the UK. Didn't really know where it was. It's just a place I had heard about. We don't learn much about Wales, as you can tell, growing up in America. We don't. But yeah, this is just, most Americans don't know the difference between the UK and Britain and England. That's very accurate. Very, very, very accurate. I could care less. No, you couldn't care less, you idiots! Yes. I don't know why we do this. I don't know how this became such a common turn of phrase in America. But this is true. This is not just an internet thing. This is true. A lot of Americans I know would say, I could care less. Which really, it makes no sense. On its face. Doesn't make no... So you have the capacity to care less. So that means you care about this thing. But what you're trying to say is you couldn't care less, you idiot. This really irks me. And it seems to me that I could care less is an accepted idiom in America. I hear it on TV and shows. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't know, it's weird. I think it's just that in America we don't think that deeply enough about it, which I know is not an excuse, but I'm just trying to explain why it is what it is. And then it just perpetuates itself and we say it enough that it just starts to sound normal. Yeah. Another thing that annoys me is the phrase, I did it on accident. It sounds so wrong. I did it on accident. So would you rather us say, I did it by accident? Yeah, say, I did it by accident or it was an accident. But saying on accident sounds like something a 5-year-old would say. Really? So this is not a common way to phrase this in Britain. I didn't know that because this is pretty normal in America. Yeah, I did that on accident. You know, I agree with the I could care less. I think that should be banned. And you should be thrown in jail. But the I did it on accident, that's just. I understand that that doesn't strictly make that much sense. Like, how are you on an accident? I did it on. You wouldn't say I did it on mistake, or. But you would say I did it on purpose. Is that why we say this? I mean, you could say, I did it on purpose. I did it on accident. On accident, it doesn't sound that great. I'll admit that. It doesn't sound that great. But is there a logical reason why it shouldn't be allowed? Why it doesn't make sense? I don't know. I don't know. That one I'm less sure about. But I can see where it would annoy British people if that's just not normal speech in Britain. Let's take a look at a few more here. Telling the British. Here we go, this again. Things you should not say to a Brit. Telling the British person you're Scottish or Irish or whatever nationality you think is cool because you once had some whiskey or Guinness going on about Northern Ireland. Is this a thing Americans do? I've never heard an American talk about Northern Ireland. A lot of Americans don't even know Ireland is two parts. Seriously. A lot of Americans don't even know about Northern Ireland. So what are they going on about? I don't know. Expecting them to know about U.S. history. Oh, God. Yeah, don't don't expect too much out of the average American. There's U.S. history. We're taught U.S. history. That's all we're taught, really. Or not all, but that's a huge part of what we're taught in our history classes growing up, of course, is U.S. history. But a lot of Americans are just not that great at history in general. Oh, expecting them to care about U.S. history, including some little skirmish with some trivial English garrison. Yeah, we wouldn't know anything about that. It's my right. So this is something you should not say to a British person. It's my right. You'll be legitimately torn apart by chimps if you try that on. Rule of thumb in the UK. The moment you claim a universal right as your own is the moment you lose it. I'm not sure I understand this one, and I'm guessing it's because I'm American. I don't understand this. In Britain, certainly you have rights as a British person. You have rights given by declared by your government. So is there really no time where you would say, oh, that's my right? Like, yeah, I don't know. In America, when you are imprisoned, you have the right to a phone call. You have the right to an attorney if you can't afford one. So you might say, oh, that's my right. Am I missing the point here? Is that not what we're talking about? Not something you should do in the UK. Okay. This is definitely a weird American thing. How come they all know their rights? Really? Like, I don't know any of my rights. So just be an okay person. As soon as I hear my rights, a million videos of Americans screaming it in situations cross my rights. I see. Now I see what we're talking about here. We're talking about videos like on the internet or on TV where you see Americans maybe getting arrested by the police and they're clearly doing something bad. You know, maybe they're destroying property or rioting, and it's Americans being like, my rights to break this window, and it's like, no, and as the second you're saying it's your right, that loses all meaning, and you clearly don't even know your rights, and if you're talking about your rights, you're probably not doing something that's okay to begin with. If you're trying to bring up your rights, you're probably pushing the limit there already. Is that what we're talking about here? I see. I think it is. When you guys learn about the War of Independence in school, are you the good guys? So much no. This is Americans asking Brits. When you learn about the War of Independence in school, is that what you call it? The War of Independence? because we are, of course, from our point of view, we call it the American Revolution, so that's interesting. Are you the good guys? I mean, well, I think that's just sort of in bad taste to bring up wars with other countries that happened a while ago. A war. Literally, people died, and both sides fighting for what they thought was right and theirs, and being like, do you think you were the good guys or the bad guys? Some of that discussion is productive, of course. But that one, that just seems like you're trying to start something. Or, if you say any of these things to a British person, you might be trying to start something. But that's my right. See what I did there? I'm learning. No, no, no. These are no-nos. So this was actually very entertaining for me. Very interesting. It kind of went between some funny things, some serious things, just things that you should not say to a British person. Most of this made sense to me, and it's quite enjoyable, actually. So anyway, if you enjoyed this as well, feel free to give this video a like or leave a comment with your thoughts on things you should not say to British people. That'd be very fun to hear about. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Britain and learning about British culture, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.